What's good, Commanders fans? Day 5 of training camp here. Curtis Samuel, once again, did not practice. We're going to get into that just a little bit later. He was on the side field. Just talking about a little bit of what Ron Rivera had to say after practice. Once again, I'm not panicking. That's all I'm going to say right now. And I said I'm not going to talk too much about Curtis until we get to the regular season, so I'm not going to, overreact too much about Curtis Samuel. So, but this from Ben Standing. He says Antonio Gibson participating in position drills. John Bates, Troy Apke, and DeJuan Neal also on the side field. Not seeing Trey Turner with the quad injury in uniform would be a fourth consecutive missed practice. So the offensive line has been shuffling a lot. I talked about this in my video yesterday that there has been a lot of shuffling of offensive linemen. Chase Rouye just coming back. Trey Turner, with rest days and whatnot, and other guys. Cornelius Lucas being out as well. So there's been a lot of shuffling and makeshift of the offensive line. It's very early, so once again, I wouldn't overreact until the regular, see what happens until the regular season. So Zach Selby says, I see 3 players catching punts on special teams drills. Alex Erickson, Trey McGowan, and Jahan Dotson. So no Jaquez Ezra back there or Jarrett Patterson today. John Comm also reported Antonio Gibson was working an 11 on 11. So good to see Antonio Gibson back, man. I'm excited to see him and Brian Robinson do work, as J.D. McKissick as well. I'm just excited to see all the running. Jarrett Patterson included, if he can make the roster, which I really see him making a practice squad. But I think he'll definitely get some snaps in the regular season. So Zach Selby says Curtis Hodges just made a really nice catch from Carson Wentz. He did have to jump, but he had to really extend to bring it in. So that's where we bring up catch radius. And people have said Carson Wentz has been a little inaccurate, a little high, a little too low. They drafted Jahan Dotson, they drafted Cole Turner, and the buzzword was catch radius. Last year was position flex. This year is catch radius. So Curtis Hodges has that being 6'8". Zach Selby says the defense was using 5 linemen for a few plays from James Smith-Williams, John Allen, Fedarian Mathis, Deron Payne, and Montez Sweat. So that 5-2 set that a lot of people are excited for, looks like they were doing that in practice. So, hopefully we can get Chase Young back before week 8. We'll see. But James Smith-Williams looks like he's going to be the starter on the other side there. So just intrigued, getting those linemen out there, man. That's supposed to be our strongest unit on defense. Have they played up to the hype of the expectations? They have not. But we'll see if they can take advantage with that 5 set. Fedarian Mathis out there with Deron Payne and John Allen. So seeing 3 Bama boys in the middle could be scary. John Kime said Jeremy Reeves was working out there. Zach Selby says there was a nice execution from Sammis Reyes and Trey McGowan as the starting offense wrapped up their session. Trey McGowan set up the block for Sammis Reyes by stretching the play out a bit further. And Reyes, my computer just reset for some reason here. Let me get back to the Zach Selby tweet here. Trey McGowan set up the block for Sammis Reyes by stretching the play out a bit further, and Reyes sealed off Kendall Fuller. So Sammis Reyes has been playing pretty well so far. He's been a good special teamer as well. So it's going to be him and Curtis Hodges battling for that 3rd tight end spot. Ben Sanders said Chase Rouye participating in 11s with the first team. Zach Selby said Fuller grabbed his first pick of the week, breaking on a pass from Carson Wentz to Cam Sims. Kendall Fuller was one of my standouts last week and is carrying over into week 2. So Kendall Fuller, man, he's been having a great camp. He's really been a standout. He's been very sticky out there, sticking with guys, batting passes down, deflecting passes. A lot of passes defended out there, and he got an interception. So Kendall Fuller's been really good. He was a standout. I talked about him yesterday too. So if he can be, CB2 or CB1 or whatever, who cares? I don't care who's CB1 or CB2 between him and William Jackson. But to have a lockdown corner in Kendall Fuller, he was really solid in the second half of the year. He was really solid. So Kendall Fuller's been having a really, really good camp. He's been a standout. A lot of people have named him as a standout. And then on the next play, Carson Wentz overthrow results in a Cameron Curl pick. Cameron Curl with a hell of a leap to hold in. So big play by Cameron Curl there. Especially a big year from him. But Carson Wentz throws back-to-back picks. Ben Stanek says on the same play, Wentz interception on back-to-back plays. Second pick sailed over Cole Turner and into the arms of Cameron Curl. Then Ben Sanders says, now Percy Butler with an interception jumped a Taylor Heineke pass. That's 3 interceptions in 4 plays. So the secondaries look good, man. The communication's been good. Chris Harris was hyped up, the DB coach. Talked about communication last year, how it lacked, and these guys are stepping up, and they're communicating well. They're playing really well in practice. Now Carson Wentz, with the interceptions, just get it out of his system right now. I'm not going to overreact. Talked about that yesterday where he's been inconsistent in practice, but we want him to get the stuff out of him now. Get the bad stuff out of you, all the mistakes. Have that happen in practice so he can be ready for the games. And we'll see what happens if he does play in preseason. JP Finlay says Commanders practice is about to start, but tomorrow's the big day out there. That's when pads come on. So pads come on tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first day with pads on. Ben Standing says Antonio Gibson working a red zone drill showed quickness on an inside slant against Kendall for a touchdown for Wentz. He ran with the ball hard outside to the corner right after. So good sign from Antonio Gibson there. Zach Selby says goal line drills are going on right now. Tell Heineke delivered a strike to Cole Turner, who made the falling catch in the back of the end zone. Really starting to get excited about Cole Turner as a red zone target this season. So Cole Turner, I've heard nothing but good things from him. Good to see Taylor Heineke make some good plays there too. So Cole Turner, possibly it could be a big rookie season for Cole Turner. Zach Selby says really nice throw and catch from Carson Wentz to Jahan Dotson in the end zone. So we know that connection there with Carson Wentz. So Carson Wentz will make a good play, then he'll make a bad play. So just a little inconsistent. Matthew Parris says so many drops today. Cam Sims with a drop, De'Ami Brown with a drop, and Mark and Michelle among those who let it slip. Mark and Michelle had a big drop the other day that JP Finlay talked about as well. So just got to monitor that with Mark and Michelle. Cam Sims, yes, he's been known to drop some passes here and there. And then De'Ami Brown had a big drop last year against the Bills. I remember that as well. Matt Parris says in the red zone, Terry McLaurin had Jamin Davis on him, and Carson Wentz immediately went to Cole Turner for the incompletion. As soon as the ball came out, McLaurin yelled, "I had a linebacker, bro," and Jamin laughed. So we don't see Terry get mad a lot, so he must have been really, really open there, and he loved that mismatch against Jamin Davis. So Carson Wentz, you just can't miss that. So that's what practice is for, to make mistakes. This is going to happen in the game sometimes. Nobody's perfect. But yeah, Terry McLaurin was really upset about that one from what we're hearing. And then Carson Wentz, he loves Cole Turner, so he might have just locked his eyes on Cole Turner there. Zach Selby's another pick today, this time from Jeremy Reeves. Jeremy Reeves, I hope he can make the roster. I think he will make the roster. Was on the practice squad last year and then got some snaps against the Eagles and a couple teams in the last half of the year. But Jeremy Reeves, he's had a good stand. He's been a standout in training camp as well. Pick number 5 of the day was Bobby McCain from Wentz targeting McLaurin. So I think it was 4 interceptions from Carson Wentz and then 3 from Carson Wentz and then 1 from Sam Howell and then 1 from Taylor Heineke as well. So the defense won today, basically. P. Haley says Terry McLaurin was just matched up in the slot, basically just saying that Terry McLaurin was upset again about not getting the football. Scott Abraham says Wentz forcing a throw downfield, easy interception for Bobby McCain. The secondary is absolutely feasting. And that basically concludes practice. Heineke also found De'Ami Brown in the back of the end zone, the end zone for 6. So Heineke threw a touchdown pass to De'Ami Brown. Sam Howell it's from Matt Parris. Sam Howell becomes the third quarterback to throw an interception today. Jeremy Reeves called the interception. And then Ben Stanek jokes saying that the Commanders need to bring back Steven Montez, who threw a lot of interceptions in practice. So this is the Curtis Samuel update. We'll end on this here. Oh, also Matt Parris said that Ryan Kerrigan was at practice today. Basically, he said Ryan Kerrigan will stick around for the next couple of weeks so he can truly gauge whether coaching is right for him. He wants to give him a taste of the grind. So if they can bring Ryan Kerrigan as a defensive line coach or an assistant or something like that in some way, some shape or form, I think they could help this defensive line out a lot. They definitely needed a veteran last year to play and help these guys out. Ron Rivera talked a lot about maturity with Chase Young, Montez Sweat, and other guys on that D line just to play together as a unit. I think Ryan Kerrigan can definitely help him out with that. I think Ryan Kerrigan, honestly, he really could suit up. If he really wanted to come out of retirement and suit up, I think he wouldn't be a bad rotational pass rusher, especially with Chase Young being out, to be honest with you. David Harrison also said Sam Howell just fired the best ball of practice so far. Unfortunately, it fell incomplete because the receiver pulled up on the route a bit. Even when good, the offense has been out of sync today. So this is from Michael Phillips' article he wrote about today. This is what Ron Rivera said, quoted, that the entire plan for Curtis Samuel to come back is to work on his overall football conditioning after reporting hamstring and back tightness early in camp. So I didn't know that he had back tightness and a hamstring, concern or whatever. So that is something to monitor there, not just the groin injury. I talked about the Eastern Motors commercial, how he looked good. But yeah, I'm just not going to get too worked up on it. I've already said enough about Curtis Samuel, joking around about, him being compared to Paul Richardson. So this is a make or break year for him. If he doesn't play more than 8 games or 10 games, then I think it's time to move on. That's all I'm going to say on the matter there with Curtis Samuel. So Matt Parris says Ron Rivera said there was some concern Curtis Samuel's football conditioning after not playing much last year, which factors into managing his workload. You had to be smart with it. We're going to stick to the plan, end quote. It has nothing, quote, it has nothing to do with last year's groin injury, end quote. So basically just some rest there. I have no problem with him resting here and there, but 3 days in a row where he did not practice or had a reduced workload is definitely something to monitor and keep your eyes on. I know he's not going to play in any preseason games. That would not be wise to play him, but it is unfortunate that he barely played last year. And then this year, we'll see what happens. I won't say anything until the end of this year about Curtis Samuel, or, that's all I'm going to say. If he does play, that would be a huge plus. It would be a huge boost to this offense for sure. And once again, Carson Wentz throwing interceptions. I'm not concerned about it. I talked about that yesterday. He's been a little inconsistent. Throw some high throws, some low throws. Just got to get it out of him now. Get the chemistry down with guys. It's week 1.5 of practice, so I just want to see him maybe one series in practice. But him and Jahan have a great connection. Him and Cole Turner have a great connection, and he's had some good throws to Terry McLaurin. He's made some big plays out there, so that's all I'm going to say about Carson Wentz. All right, you guys. Hail to the Commanders. Peace.